The $20 billion AI deal between Nvidia and Groq. Alright, you are not going to believe this story that just rocked the world of AI. We are talking about a record-breaking $20 billion deal. But here's the twist. When you really look at this, it's not a deal at all. So what's really going on? Well, that's what we are going to break down right now. Okay, so the news just absolutely exploded across the AI industry. Nvidia, the undisputed king of AI chips, just made a play that is so massive, it's literally rewriting the history books. Yeah, just look at the number, $20 billion. And get this, it's all in cash. I mean, this isn't just a big number, it's a massive statement. To give you some perspective, we are talking about a deal that's bigger than the entire value of a lot of really big established public companies. And for a giant like Nvidia, this is just monumental. Think about it. Their last biggest deal was buying Mellanox back in 2019 for almost $7 billion. And this new thing is nearly 3 times that. It just completely shatters the old record. Okay, but this is where the story gets really interesting. It gets kind of weird, actually, because that huge headline, the one everyone's talking about, it's not the whole story. It's hiding something way more complex and way more strategic. And here it is, right? The headline versus the fine print. Everyone was reporting Nvidia buys Groq. Simple enough. But then you look at the actual announcement and it says it's a non-exclusive licensing agreement. Those are two completely different things. They don't line up at all. And if you had any doubt, Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang said it super clearly in an email to his team. He said, "We are not acquiring Groq as a company." So wait a minute, you're telling me they're spending $20 billion, they're hiring all the key people, they're licensing the tech, but they're not buying the company. How does that even work? So that's the big mystery, right? What is really going on here? If it's not a buyout, what is it? And why on earth would Nvidia drop a record-breaking amount of cash on something this strange? Alright, let's dig in and figure this out. Okay, so to get to the way, we got to first look at the who. Because this whole story really comes down to 2 players. You've got this absolute giant, a real Galea, and then you've got this small but less super dangerous startup. So on one side, you've got Nvidia, the trillion-dollar titan. They basically own the AI hardware market. And on the other side, you have Groq. They are way smaller for sure, but their team, their pedigree is just insane. These are the exact same engineers who built Google's TPU, the Tensor Processing Unit. That's one of the only things out there that can actually compete with Nvidia's chips. So Groq isn't just some random startup. These guys literally designed Nvidia's biggest competition. So you have this really unique situation, and that calls for a pretty unique solution. What we are watching here is a whole new kind of corporate strategy taking shape, a new playbook really for how these massive companies can just absorb innovation without all the messy parts of a typical merger. And it's got a name, the Acquire license. It's exactly what it sounds like, a hybrid. It's part of acquisition, part talent poach, and part tech license. Basically, you get to grab all the best stuff. You get the brilliant people and all their secret sauce without having to deal with buying the entire company, office furniture, and all. And here's how that playbook works. It's a 3-step process. Step 1. Nvidia licenses all of Groq's really cool low-latency tech. Step 2. They hire the dream team. We're talking about the founder, the CEO, all the senior people are packing their bags and moving to Nvidia. And then step 3, the weird part, they just leave the shell of the company behind. So Groq, the company will technically still exist. It will just be run by its CFO. And listen, don't think this is just some weird one-off thing. It's not. This is becoming a trend. Just a few months back, Nvidia did something really similar, just smaller, with another AI hardware startup called Infabrica. That deal was for over $900 million. So this is clearly their new go-to move. Okay, so now we get how they pull this off, but that just brings us right back to the biggest question of all. Why spend $20 billion in this super unconventional way? Well, the answer to that really pulls back the curtain on what the fight for AI dominance is all about. It's really a genius move. When you break it down, for one, Nvidia gets that world-class team, the guys who built the TPU working for them instantly. Two, they get to plug Groq's super-fast tech right into their own systems. Three, and this is huge, they take a really dangerous competitor completely off the board. And they get to do all of this without the nightmare of government regulators and the headache of a full merger. It's a win-win-win for them. So when you boil it all down, that $20 billion wasn't for a company, it was for people, it was for their brains and their ideas. Because in this crazy AI arms race we're in, the most valuable thing isn't the chips themselves, it's the handful of people on the planet who actually know how to build them. This is a land grab for human expertise, and it's happening on a scale we've just never seen before. So what does a deal like this actually mean for the future of tech? Because it's a lot more than just some clever deal making. This really signals a major change in how the big dogs interact with the small startups that are supposed to be driving innovation. Yeah, what we are seeing here is a huge shift in Silicon Valley. The old model was pretty straightforward. You have a great idea, you build a startup, grow it, and then you get bought by a big company. Simple. But this new model is different now. It's like innovation is being taken apart with the giants just cherry-picking the best parts, the people, and the patents, and just leaving the empty shell of the company behind. And that leaves us with a really big question to think about. In an industry where human talent is basically the new gold, what's the point of a startup anymore? Are they really built to innovate and compete on their own? Or are they just becoming these super specialized farms for talent just waiting to be harvested piece by piece by the highest bidder? That's a question which is probably going to define the entire tech industry for the next 10 years.